before, he's drenched now. The Super Bowl just dropped a bombshell. Kendrick Lamar is headlining the halftime show, and Drake's stands are scrambling for cover. And Drake's reaction to this news, it's got him feeling every type of way.
I have to know what Kendrick Lamar's problem is, because the beef started because Drake had a song that said, "Big as the Super Bowl," and now Kendrick said, "Say Drake, I'm performing at the Super Bowl."
First things first, let's talk about Kendrick's announcement video for the Super Bowl. He was smooth with it, throwing that corporate swagger around like a pro. He hit us with his best code-switching voice, all proper and polished.
What the deal, everybody? My name's Kendrick Lamar, and I'll be performing at Super Bowl 59. Will you be pulling up? I hope so.
The man is a master of subtle shade, and deep down, he knows exactly what this means for Drake. And if you're still wondering why this is such a big deal, let me break it down. Drake has been thirsting for that Super Bowl stage for years. He's craved that moment. But who swoops in to claim the glory? Kendrick. It's almost poetic. For Drake, the timing couldn't be worse. Grammy season is right around the corner, and we all know the baggage Drake carries with that. Remember when he was so salty about losing, he yanked his album from Grammy consideration? But let's talk shade. Kendrick's Super Bowl announcement was laced with shots, especially when he said this.
You know it's only one opportunity to win a championship. No round twos. Let's get it.
That was a direct hit at Drake, playing off his whole round two mentality he's been pushing for years. Kendrick knew exactly what he was doing, and it hit Drake right where it hurt. Kendrick has been on a relentless streak, taking shots at Drake with every achievement he racks up. It all kicked off on April 30th, when he dropped Euphoria, signaling the start of his domination. The next tweet, on May 4th, he followed up with Meet the Grams, and then came the May 5th tweet, Not Like Us. Fast forward to September 8th, and Kendrick dropped the ultimate bomb, Super Bowl 59, New Orleans, officially announcing his halftime performance and making it clear that he was headlining the biggest stage Drake's been eyeing for years. Kendrick's been stacking W's while Drake's just trying to keep up, and his timeline tells the whole story. Twitter erupted, with everyone piling on, including Jack Dorsey, the former CEO of Twitter, who couldn't resist taking his own jab at Drake. And don't even get me started on DJ Academics. The man was practically screaming online, saying that Drake has to squabble with Kendrick now. He knows it's getting real when even Drake's biggest cheerleaders start cracking jokes. Let's talk about the real player behind the scenes, Jay-Z. We all know Jay's never been Drake's biggest fan, especially after Drake pulled that shady move with Beyonce's electronic album. Drake tried to outmaneuver Bey by dropping his own EDM project before she could release hers. And let's just say Jay wasn't about to let that slide. So, when it came time to pick the Super Bowl headliner, guess who made the call? Yep, Jay-Z. And he didn't hold back, calling Kendrick a once-in-a-generation artist and a culture-defining force. Oh, and Rihanna is out here publicly co-signing Kendrick's Super Bowl post. The same Rihanna who had Drake wrapped around her finger once upon a time. The levels of petty here are off the charts, and all this is happening while Drake's still nursing the wounds from his last album's lukewarm reception. At the end of the day, Kendrick's out here making history, while Drake is stuck watching from the cheap seats. The internet is absolutely eating this up, and let's be real, it's not looking great for Champagne Papi right now. People are out here clowning, saying things like, Kendrick was like MF to the big three. Ninja, it's just big me. 6 months later, he is headlining the Super Bowl. I'm dying. And I know Drake is big mad because The Weeknd headlined the Super Bowl in 2021 and now Kendrick in 2025. Another said, first off, he dragged Drake on June 10th, then the 4th of July, and now February, Black History Month. Kendrick needs to be in prison for unaliving Drake. February 9th, 2025 is shaping up to be one for the books, and Kendrick's going to make sure everyone knows who the real heavyweight is.
Kendrick Lamar has announced that he will be performing at the halftime show at next year's Super Bowl, and he also might have, you guessed it, even slipped a Drake diss in there. Let's check this out.
There you go. Give me one more. Ah! Come on. 2 more. Just like that. You ready? Exactly. What the deal, everybody? My name's Kendrick Lamar, and I'll be performing at Super Bowl 59. Will you be pulling up? I hope so. You know it's only one opportunity to win a championship. No round twos. Let's get it. Boom! I won't want you to miss it. Meet me in New Orleans, February 9th, 2025. Wear your best dress, too, even if you watch it from home. Let's go. Yeah! That's what I'm talking about, man. Now we can get to it for real. Come on, you gotta make sure you catch it with the hands open like that.
Now, one line here could very likely be a little subliminal directed at Drake, specifically when Kendrick says this.
You know it's only one opportunity to win a championship. No round twos.
This seems to be in response to when Drake posted a video on his Finsta that implied that he wanted a second shot at taking on Kendrick.
I'll put it in the front page, back page, middle page, wherever. Headliners, column 1 or 2, we will win game 2. We will win game 2.
If this was a Drake dig, then it seems like Kendrick feels there's no need for any more diss tracks. And if I'm honest, I would agree. I would not want another track as popular as Not Like Us dropped on my head again if I was Drake. But maybe he's a masochist. Who knows? Pusha T seems to agree the line was a diss and joined in, posting the K-Dot quote on his story, adding, "This is true." Of course, referencing his own victory against Drake in their beef.
I just realized that, nobody cares about this guy, so it's not really much I can say better than Drake has a baby. He won. He won off that.
Will we see the Kendrick versus Drake beef continue? And are we about to hear a crowd of 80,000 people shout,
Certified lover boys, certified pedophiles.
Time will tell. Just remember to swipe up and hit follow so you don't miss any ridiculous rap.
It looks like the whole industry is throwing major shade at Jay-Z for snubbing Lil Wayne and giving the 2025 halftime spot to Kendrick Lamar. And word on the street is Jay-Z might be pulling some petty moves, using Kendrick to settle that old beef with Weezy.
Think about this for a second. Lil Wayne, headline Super Bowl in New Orleans. How badly do you want to hear those words?
Just as bad as I want to see my name at the top of that list when I was that whatever age it was, and I would bust into the office and get that Billboard magazine.
So on Monday, September 9th, it was officially announced that Kendrick Lamar is set to headline the 2025 Super Bowl halftime show at New Orleans Caesars Superdome, thanks to a collab between the NFL, Apple Music, and Jay-Z's Rock Nation. Now, we all know Kendrick is a straight-up legend, and no one's doubting he deserves that Super Bowl halftime spot. Jay-Z, who's been co-producing the Super Bowl halftime show since 2019, released a statement praising Kendrick, calling him a once-in-a-generation artist with an unparalleled ability to define and influence culture globally. However, not everyone's vibing with this Super Bowl halftime announcement, especially since the game is set to go down in New Orleans, Lil Wayne's own turf. A bunch of fans and even some artists are up in arms, saying that if anyone deserved a headline in NOLA, it should have been Weezy. But that's not all. Rumor has it that Jay-Z might be behind the snub, with whispers suggesting this could be linked to their past beef. Hobb and Wayne have had their fair share of drama, so it's not wild to think Jay might be using his NFL connections to settle some old scores by picking Kendrick instead of Wayne. Remember how 50 Cent hinted that Jay tried to block him from performing at the 2022 Super Bowl, and then Eminem had to step in? And even then, 50 wasn't allowed to be in the Super Bowl ad. So if Jay's pulled moves like this in the past, who's to say he isn't behind this Kendrick pick too? Well, Weezy's longtime collaborators Nicki Minaj and Birdman certainly seem to think so. Nicki went off on Jay in a series of posts on X, saying that despite having everything in the world, Jay-Z is still spiteful and evil. Go be effing happy, Nicki wrote. In rap business, in women business, when you got the politicians and the police, you good though. Plus that ugly Laffy Taffy alien. But Nicki didn't stop there. She also said this, denying a young black man what he rightfully put into this game for no other reason but your ego. Your hatred for Birdman, Drake, and Nicki got you punishing Lil Wayne? Lil Wayne? The GOAT? NOLA? What's good? Eminem stood firm on having 50 Cent come out. A white man. Ish. Sad. And then Birdman joined the chat echoing Nicki's sentiments and saying, shaking my effing head, these P-word. Nicki, Drake, Lil Wayne, DMB. I'ma make these respect us on Gladys. Hating-ish for real. Now as for fans, they're pretty divided on this drama. Some are saying Drake's camp is reading way too much into this, and at the end of the day, Jay-Z and the NFL are gonna do what's best for business. However, others are still convinced Jay-Z influenced the NFL's decision and snubbed Wayne because of their past beef. Someone said, yeah, you can be rich and still bitter. That's Jay-Z.